Welcome, one and all. One and all, welcome. Ha! Dimension K here with a brand new showcase. And in this one, we'll be revisiting a prior sector to further explore and see what new discoveries we can unearth. Some things will be familiar, background audio, for instance. And for those of you know that I have a penchant for getting caught up in the background music. But I'm not doing that this time. You can see I am focused. That's right, Dimension K, Dimension Focus. Aren't you proud of me? Yeah, okay, so anyway, let's put the focus back where it belongs as I'm whipping in this line work on this dragon motif-esque thing going on here. We'll get to that later. What's important is the precedent that this video sets. You'll note the titles, it says Hunters 2, which clearly implies that there must be a Hunters 1. What? You haven't seen it? Well, what are you waiting for? Boom! There it is. Go check it out. After you finish watching this one. Got to stay focused, right? But as this is the second entry, it expands a subcategory that I had established for the channel early on. And that is pretty much pertaining to themes, not to be confused with scenes. Scenes are those monochromatic studies I do because I like it and no one has told me to stop yet. Themes, well, I figure are pretty self-explanatory. Basically, I'm just going to like find a thread or some line of inspiration and see how many different video ideas I can generate from it. Basically, we'll all come back to it and explore this sector of the dimension and see just how deep and how far it goes. Maybe a wormhole will take us some crazy place, but either way, it'll be visually exciting. So therein lies the point. Shifting focus back to what's on screen, as I'm getting this line work in and getting our character more fleshed out and defined. This guy's obviously got a humanoid form or a humanoid body, but I'd have to say at that point that's where the similarities end. I mean, think about it. How many humans do you know that are running around here with spikes on their heads or bone protrusions coming off their brows or wings on their backs or talons? Hmm. At the risk of being silly, I've seen some nail jobs, when the ladies come out of the nail salon and they have resembled talons, so maybe that one doesn't count. Regardless, as now we're putting in the cast shadows in that lighter way that I like to do. With this whole thing, at least from an artist perspective, it's really fun to take conventional items or elements and mix them together to come up with something rather unconventional. Now, the whole like reptilian humanoid thing, that idea is as old as dirt. But the point is that idea is being filtered through the lens that is uniquely me. So what I'm going to get would be something that would be uniquely mine, as if I'm putting my stamp on this concept or this idea. And that's like the point. That's something that everyone should strive for as an artist or whatnot. It's not that, you're trying to reinvent the wheel. You can't. It's already been invented. But how you employ the wheel, well, that's on you. How else would we have gotten the unicycle? Yeah, I know. But you get the point. You get the point. So I'm going to tie this back to the original theme. Now, in the first Hunters video, I stated that all of this came out of a random character sketch on a napkin. And from that random character sketch, a backstory popped in, a concept and everything. And before I knew it, I had a whole world. And of course, you got to populate that world. So I started, putting together other character ideas as that character story went on. Now, this is not that character. No, neither is the one from the previous video. That character's day is coming, but this is part of the background as we're starting to put in some other lighting elements and whatnot. You may see some stuff familiar, you may not, but either way, back to what we were talking about with the whole concept. What we had, if you recall, and if you don't, here's a quick primer. We're talking about a world where there's no such thing as magic, yet it is a world plagued by sorcerers. Now, the sorcery they use is obviously related to some crazy science gone mad or haywire or whatnot. So we'll go past that. Principles of science. One of the main principles would be genetics, right? Okay, one of the main principles of that would be gene splicing. Now, looking at this guy, I'm sure you can imagine as we're getting into the shadow work now, or should I say shading and whatnot, you can obviously guess or surmise all of the various genetic whatnots that are in this person's code. And that's just based on what we're seeing so far. I'm only showing you the top half of this cat. I mean, dude could have a tail, he could have misshapen legs, taloned feet, and then at the same time, we don't see it. But at least he was gracious enough to show us his favorite pick sticker, as you can see it coming into the screen. And then there's the addition of all of the technological elements, particularly the cybernetic eye and that metal collar around his neck. But even this glove, I mean, who knows what's in there? A couple of laser rays or a force field or something. And yet this dude kind of looks like he just fell out of a really raw chapter of Lord of the Rings or something else. But you get my point though. So going beyond that, let's add even more elements to it as we're actually adding the lighting now. Do so with the backstory as well. If this guy is a product of this world and all of this crazy science, well, this is the hunter's theme. What could his particular occupation be? What would somebody who looks like that be good at? I guess bounty hunting. So again, it's another one of those situations where it's like whoever this person is looking for, when he finds them, they're going to be in trouble. And it's dark corridor too, man. This is just apropos. This got dangerous and clearly focused. See what I did there? And it's funny I say whoever he's after when it's obvious, but there's more on that later. And that is the beauty of the themes, brave explorers. The mystery, the intrigue. It's like a gift that keeps on giving, as I give you Hunters 2. Hope you had fun, and if so, let me know. Check those socials. Like, subscribe, share, tap a bell, tell a friend. Go outside and scream to high heck about it. But make sure you keep your focus about you, because those hunters, they're out there. Till next time.